G'day and welcome back to Oakridge Nuclear Power Station. Today we've got something extra special. I've got a new YouTube member. Here he is, LowLevelC. Welcome on out. I got to figure out how to type and chat and all sorts of stuff. Hopefully, I don't know if he can hear me or not.
Hey, what's up?
G'day, how are you? Can you hear me or do I have push to talk enabled? Yes, I do have push to talk.
If you're talking, oh, there you are.
I just said something. I'm like, wait, he can't hear me. I might have push to talk from another channel.
Yeah. I have a friend that I do development with on another game, and he's from New Zealand. The restrictions on chat, he can't even speak to me in game because we're different regions.
That I hate so much with the Roblox. That, like, when I first started out, Roblox just came out with that new moderation through chat and age and stuff. So I was joining public lobbies in ONPS, and I'm like, why can't they hear me when I'm talking to them? And yeah, one of the moderators of the game is like, you're a dumbass. This is why. So they actually added shortly after that, oh, there you go, you actually are blocked out to me in game because it's got that crossed out chat bubble across or above your head.
Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, last game, it was a junior operator and he was trying to teach me something, and all he was doing was using the laser. He couldn't use anything else. I couldn't talk to him. He was just pointing the laser around.
Yeah, it's very difficult to talk to someone and explain stuff without vocalizing it. Whoa, hang on, wait, have I gone to the wrong thing?
Yeah, I did that last game. I went up there on accident.
Yes. Oh, it's been a while. Down, not up. What am I doing? Need to sign in first.
It's down, then you go forward, and then you go up.
Nah, it's all backwards. Find the elevators just take way too long.
Yeah, they take.
And we've got everyone's favorite level, level X.
Level X. Yep.
Oh yeah, the most useful one in the whole game. Alright. Cool beans. Let's grab the key. Grab my senior operator key. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to do Shozy pattern? I've got it loaded up in front of me. Alright. Let's get this out of the way.
So which one do you usually do? Because like I usually just follow whatever the guide says. He's got like this thing.
Well, I can show you the way that no matter what you do, you can always start it up, but then it kind of makes syncing the turbines a little more difficult. Instead of doing them at the same time, you'll have to do them separately.
Yeah.
But if you want, I can show you how to do both of them and use the auto bypass controls to literally make it so much easier. So much easier. But you've only got somewhat of a limited time frame before your condensers and your deaerators and stuff start running out of water, because you can't bring on more pumps without having turbine A synced and outputting power, supplying power to bus B, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you come over here, we're actually on the red system, so bus A, and then the blue system that feeds off generator B and generator A, the one we're about to turn on, will feed all those pumps on the blue line bus B. So we've got no access to any of those at the moment. If we try and turn them on, they'll just trip or just not do anything really.
Yeah.
And then with your, and like another little trick with the, what is it, the emergency core cooling system, the ECCS. You know how you've got a limited amount of nitrogen?
Yeah, I was watching your video. You pull up, don't you turn on the ECCS feed valve and the makeup pump, and then leave the relief valve open?
Yes, yep. So you need to fill it up with water, and then after that you just close the valve and then it will start pressurizing, but you don't need to use any of the nitrogen at all, because there's no way to actually fill it up Later on, we go around the building if you want. I can actually show you there's a valve in the ECCS building itself that's just got nitrogen supply on the top of it, and it's just an empty pipe. Goes to nowhere. So we've got all of these. So we need to get our isolated valves, which are the ones pretty much up here that allow the steam to go through and then the water to go back to the reactor, etc. So that's pretty much what allows these ones to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might notice the red lights up the top there are now all green.
Yeah.
There and there, so that kind of makes sense. And then...
So wait, hold on. Walk me through what these do. So this outlet opens, and then it allows what
the steam.
Aerators, steam to go to the turbines.
Yeah. So
okay.
the diorama of what we've got with all the lines and things like that, it's somewhat hard to explain, and I'm sure someone will be able to tell me in the comments below. It's hard to tell if this is the reactor itself, which I don't think it is. I've always thought it was the separator tanks. So obviously the reactor creates the steam. Sometimes the steam boils some water over, so that the separator tanks clean the steam to get rid of some of the water and excess and all that sorts of stuff. Yeah. Then it flows into what's called the Deaerators, which will clean the steam further, get rid of any of the carbon dioxide and all that sorts of stuff out of the steam, which will stop corrosion and pitting, technically, of the pipes and the turbine blades themselves. So that's pretty much one of the methods and reasons why there's the Deaerator. We'll come back to this in a second. So there's a process here that cleans steam after going separator, Deaerator, then through the turbines, spinning up all those magnets, creating the electricity, all that sorts of stuff. You'll notice they'll either bypass around the condenser using the bypass valves or the bypass valve itself here. So you're not flowing any steam into it, where if you're opening up the turbine valve, these ones here or that, then you'll actually be flowing it directly through and into it, creating the power and actually generating temperature in the turbines. But if you're bypassing it, it has no effect whatsoever. So that's where it goes to the condenser all the way over here. Magic happens. The more power in these pumps you put towards the condenser, so the more pumps that are on, the more cooling effectivity and capacity you have to turn that used steam back into water to then flow all the way back eventually into the Deaerators again. That process, the second part of this was preheating that water before it then returns back into the reactor on a closed loop. So effectively the condenser is what separates the water from the lake from the water in our reactor system, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Along that, there's just all sorts of, lots of different things. I go on a tangent sometimes, but trying to explain that in a different way is always a good thing, at least in my opinion. I'm just trying to think what else we got, just had a memory blank. So we've got the feed limiter valve. Do you know the feed limiter valve at all over here?
So I'm not too sure what that. I mean, I can tell by the name, but.
Yep. So
like,
you've obviously
how does this help you?
So I'll just clarify. There's the condenser pumps themselves, obviously for the cooling capacity of everything, but then you've got your condensate pumps over here that pull the water from the used and cleaned up steam that turned into water to flow into your Deaerators, which are on that panel. Oh, hang on. That are on this panel here for the water level, as well as this up here. So that panel and these two gauges are pretty much the same for the water level only. On your Deaerator, you can actually max this thing out like 999 degrees Fahrenheit. No worries, no issues, nothing like that. You can even overflow it full of water because you've got your AB bleed valve that stops that from happening. The only problem is that if this empties out of water, Then the next one where the feed water pumps, pump the water from the deaerator into the reactor itself. So if there's no water in the deaerator, then you can't pump anything into the reactor using these pumps, so they'll trip. The feed limiter valve on that hand allows pretty much a valve automatically opening or closing to keep a set water limit in the reactor. And no matter how much of these you have on, it still needs to flow through that limiter valve to just equalize the water level in the reactor, pretty much. Like, does that somewhat make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. The deaerator is always a different thing, different patches, different upgrades throughout the game change things. But obviously it's kind of weird. What I've always thought with a boiling water reactor, that's what the RBMK technically is. This is a 1500, so 1500 megawatt output capacity. I think there was a Lithuanian nuclear plant which was an RBMK 1500, I think it still is, where Chernobyl was a 1000 RBMK, if that makes sense. So we're actually stronger here than what they were back then, but they had 4 different cores where we've got 1.
Yeah, they had 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But obviously with more pressure creates less bubbling in the reactor itself. So you want to kind of always have the circuit overpressure on throughout the reactor's kind of operation. So the way we try and do
I noticed that.
Yeah, so the way we try and do that, and another bonus of doing that, is we put our turbine valve at 60. So once we have it all synced up, all done, ready to go, outputting power, we don't change it from 60. So having that also allows us to have less pumps on down here to increase our relative efficiency up the top of the reactor up there, which is pretty much more experience in our paychecks. So the higher that number is in our paycheck, the better. There's just a lot here. So let's see if we can just try and start things up a bit. So we've got the deaerator currently on just auto control. It's just a lot easier if it balances itself out. Tries to heat things up as fast as possible, so by the time we get to it, we can do what we need to lower the water level in it, which will allow us to preheat the water faster before entering the reactor, which will gain more efficiency on top of that. Oh, wow, so much talking.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time. So let's get the AB bleed valve for the turbines open. Splits the steam towards both of them evenly. And what I usually do is, before I do anything, is I'll preset these 2 auto bypasses on the turbines without turning them on. So while we're creating power in the reactor and creating steam, they'll go through the turbine valves, which we need to actually unlock the turning gears. You know what the turning gears are?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
You disengage them. Because it prevents the turbines from getting awkward.
Yeah, the game actually starts whinging at you if you try and open the bypass of the turbine valves without disengaging them. So I usually call 106 straight after disengaging the first one, because as soon as it starts dropping below 24 on A, then he'll answer the phone. So now he gets back to his desk real quick. So we'll get turbine B disengaged on that, so we can actually go over and open them up. And we'll just set these now at 60.
We run a no bypass for
No, there's no point because I'd rather bring the power up, send the power through the turbines, and bring them online faster. And doing it this way, you can actually bring both of them online at the same time. So we'll get some cooling on. So we'll get A1, A2 on speed 2, just like the checklist kind of says. We'll just go along here. The synchroscope can be turned on. Bypass valve. So if we have the bypass valve here turned off, try and open that.
Try?
Yeah, try and open it. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Yeah. So if you turn that on, it'll allow you access to that pretty much.
Yeah.
Nah. There we go. Buttons. So many buttons. So we'll just go through AB bleed. We've got the auto control, the feed limiter. We've got cooling there. We've got the offline core cooling. We need to turn part A of the offline core cooling. Just ignore that. It's just because we're in a different mode. That's why it's whinging. And then part B, you've already turned off over here. So there's part A and part B. There's the pump.
Yes.
Just there. And then obviously there's the exchanger itself that needs to be turned on separately. Auto control rods. The auto control rod's out. No, we need to turn that one on, I'm pretty sure. So let's go mode 2. And the reason why I do mode 2 is because if you get the reactor at 2100 reactor power, an alarm goes off saying you're not in mode 2. So you might as well just put it in mode 2 and skip that alarm completely. So since I've turned that on, all the blue squares and the numbers above them are actually retracting out. Those are the control rods retracting out for that. And then on top of that, we go 2500. That's where we want to bring it. Set that and enter it and turn the auto control rods on. So then that'll start, hopefully. Oh, did that not go in? Did I press the wrong one? Oh, there we go. So all the red boxes and the numbers above them are for the auto control rods. That's the computer try and balance things, but we're trying to get to 2500. And at that time, we might as well start removing all the control rods of Shozy pattern A. While we can, once the bell goes off, it shall allow us.
So at pattern D or at pattern E, is that where you start like balancing the temperatures? Because like I see a lot of people get like that split core. It looks really pretty. It's like one half is green and the other half is like blue, or like one is orange or yellow and one is green.
Yeah, the balancing, that should be... So what we usually do to get to 2500 is you'll need to yank all of pattern A and pattern B out completely, pretty much as soon as you really can. Balancing pumps, all that sorts of stuff. And then you'll need to probably pull out a little bit of pattern C, maybe up to like 40% inserted, to get to 2500. And then with that, you'll leave pattern C and use pattern E and D and E to actually balance everything out. But another thing on top of that, if you have one of the circ pumps for the cooling off that I have, and you'll only have more cooling on one side of the reactor, you'll have more efficiency gained with less pumps on.
So the facility's drawing less power.
Exactly. That's the whole reason why we run the 60% on the turbine valves themselves, so we can use less condenser pumps in the end, and as well as everything else, because you're not sending as much steam through. You're kind of whistling, I kind of like to put it, whistling the steam through the turbines to create that extra kind of pressure and power. As of in case you were doing it at like 100% open. So if you wait 1 second and then, yep, cool. So if you lock in Shozy pattern B and then withdraw all of those out. Let me just make sure we've got everything going. I'm pretty sure that's the one I want. So what I'm doing over here is I'm closing, so enabling breaker 64B-M now. That allows the electricity once generated in generator A to power bus B. That we'll eventually need to bring the power in the reactor up more and more. As well as that, I primed the primer, and what that does when you push the button when you shut down, you request clearance and then you press that once clearance approved. What that does is that it swaps these two breakers over and puts you back on what we are currently on, the startup transformer. So eventually we'll open this up and that'll close and all that sorts of stuff when we're actually outputting power to the grid. When we request to go online, that'll close and all that sorts of stuff, but we'll get there in a sec. But auto 1 G1, that also needs to be turned off as well. I'm not exactly sure what that does, to be honest, but the key needs to go in there and that needs to be enabled. So that allows 18 G1, yeah, that's right. That enables this breaker here to be closed, aka enabled, allowing the output of electricity from our generators out to the power of the grids, like the city. Anything else we'll need? We've got our emergency generators over here and over here, but that's another thing entirely with random failures. Yes, so we can go 35 and we can turn that on. That's normally...
And then for most of the time, for when people are running that high efficiency, they have it running like below the first mark of the red, so like 28. They have both of them, and they set
you can actually...
they set it like one higher, so like 36, so it goes lower.
Yep, so you're actually you'll be taking water out of the deaerator to go into the hot wells, kind of like the temporary storage of the deaerators. We'll need to run over here one sec and actually get some more cooling in, and what we'll do is we need to turn the feed water, we might as well put it on speed 2, as well as the condensate pump 1, the same thing. Balance whatever you have on here with whatever you have on over here, pretty much. Yeah. So you're taking even quantities of water from the condenser to the condensate to the deaerator, if that makes sense. And then from the deaerator using the feed water into the reactor. So you're always balancing this thing out. And then to make it a little easier, we've got our reactor water level right here. If it goes too low, it means you're not supplying the reactor with enough water. So you just need to open this up. Let me guess, what's that? 2500. Mode conflict. Yep, go away. That's fine. There's pattern that, so we actually need to lock in. Actually, did we take all of those out? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't take them out. I was waiting for you.
No. Yeah, we need to get those out ASAP. That one, I'm pretty sure that's it. So what you can actually do is you can actually mash this a few times and then leave it. So.
Yeah, I saw that from your video.
Yeah, it's like an art, that. But yeah, we were actually losing a lot of reactor power out of that. And because we've got pumps online, that's why it also dropped even more rapidly. Let's just reset that alarm. See, I'm always the perfectionist. I'm always just thinking, oh man, I want to restart now. Terrible. Terrible. Oh, the ECCS. Let's stop that from filling up. I need to turn, that one off and close the relief valve. So then the pressure should start building. Core water high. Yeah. The core water's high. How high? Very high. It's alright, we're going up in power. What's that at? That's alright, we'll have to pull out some of pattern B as well. So ignore the core water high, as we'll fix that by bringing it up more. So we'll disable that patterns. And then, lock in pattern C and then take it out to about 40% roughly. That'll be roughly what we need. Kind of take your time. So we've got that. Service pump. The ECCS valve needs to be open. with the relief valve closed to create that pressure in the ECCS for free without using the nitro. So that one there needs to be on or open, and that needs to be off. And then the relief valve needs to be closed as well. What's that?
Water high. And then the
Feed pump
trip.
water trip. Yep, that's all right. So what I'll do now, we've got a feed water pump trip. Feed water pump 3 is actually on bus A at the same time. So I can just turn feed water 3 on. Or I should have been able to. Might have just tripped as well.
Alright, I got these pattern C pulled out to 42.
We've pretty much almost flooded our core.
We're sitting at 2,500 reactor power.
Yeah, nice. We should be good just there. What's our control rods at? Increasing. Yep. That's just them resetting the breakers because we tripped that pump.
It's getting hot. So should we put it on another feed water?
Yep. So we'll just bring that back up again. I'm just trying to empty a little bit of water out of the core. And then 2 and 2. Cool. We're all good there.
Still getting hot.
2,500. So if we come over
Do
to...
I bring another feed water pump on? Because it's getting hot. Again, it's still hot. It's getting hotter.
That's all right. What do we got? So no alarms will go off until 1,600. Anything above 1,600, you'll actually start creating a chance for a fuel channel leak. If you run over here to the turbines, the alarm says we are actually above. Actually, let me just do this quick before we run out. That when the RPM gets to about 1,100, 1,200. So now I had that preset at 20 on both. So all we had to do was turn the auto bypasses, both of them, on here. So that's gonna automatically open up the bypass valve and eventually slow down this increase because we're not sending so much steam through both of the actual turbines themselves. So you see, it'll balance itself by open or closing automatically. And the aim for this is 1,800. Once we get to 1,800 and that needle is in the red, we've actually synced the electrical wavelength of our grid we're creating technically and the city's grid. Oh. So once we get really close to 1,800, we actually set it to 0. That was really, really quick. One sec. Oh, had to do that real quick. So once it gets to about 1,700, you can just hit the gray button and enter 0 on the auto bypass. And that'll actually even out the steam so it doesn't put hardly anything through it. And that needle will then start slowing down. That was a real cheeky way I just did that by getting that in the nick of time. Nice, so ignore that alarm. What we want to do is just max everything out. So actually, let's get rid of that and let's do 500 and 500 on both.
So we undid where we started out and we gave it steam, right? So around 1,200 RPM, did you put in 20 on this auto bypass?
You can do that when you first walk in the door. As long as you don't turn the auto bypass on when you've preset 20 or whatever it is, the valve won't do anything. That needs to be on for it to automatically control. The same as that, remember? Because you need that to access the valve itself. It's stupid. But now we've actually synced the power. It's 1,800. If we enter in the requested power, that's what this is. So we're wanting from this generator A 500 megawatts from it. Whether we're supplying the steam required to make that is probably, I doubt it. But if we enter that in now, you'll see the valve for the bypass itself here over here closing off, sending more and more steam into it.
Yeah.
So we're now creating some power. And we can actually go over to the electrical panel. Yep. So plant output, that's what we're making. We can easily cover any of the pumps.
The breakers, right?
Yeah. So our plant actually uses roughly 30 to 34 megawatts of power for the pumps upon startup. Anything more than that you're creating with your generators, you can go ahead and just open this up, but reset the breakers for us, and then you can click that breaker. There we go. Get my cheeky cheat sheet out. Thank you, Aether.
Alright, the reset.
Yep. Cool bananas. You're more than happy to click the breaker.
Alright. The top one, right? The orange?
Yeah, that one there.
64 AM. Okay.
Yeah, so you see what that did? It opened that and disabled it.
Yes, so we're no longer getting startup transformer, we're getting the main transformer.
Yep. So you can also know that we're obviously sending steam into the turbines on both sides. So sending temperature into both. We have A1 and A2 for the turbine A only on at the moment. So obviously this is why you've only got a somewhat short amount of time to do this in. So we've reset the breakers, we've done all that. We can turn on that right there. What do you mean? Yes, you made a mistake. Roblox started whinging about my language. I just had a little pop-up. That was strange.
I would mute your mic in game.
Yeah.
It won't bother you.
Forgot it was on.
Yeah. It sometimes hallucinates. You'll get it, like, you'll like slur your words or like say something in like all mumble jumble and like you'll think you're saying something bad.
Yeah. Nah, the Roblox chat's weird. So all the alarms are resetting and stuff. Before we do anything in terms of raising the power up, because you know it's been a while, our temperature's perfectly fine. It's not going to really bring up that much more. We're quite safe to do as we want. It'd be a perfect time to do the Deaerator balancing. So you see both of the Deaerators over here? Yeah. The water level in both are actually dropping down, which is actually the same as what it would say over here on both. So what we want to do is we need to balance the water in both of them, and eventually we want to like get it quite low so it doesn't take so much. So we need to balance the hot wells, and it's a lot easier than you think. We set them to automatically keep 35. So 35 here is probably, I don't know, roughly just above the 30 itself. So we need to get that line on both sides right at the 35, so it won't try and fight to fill anything up that it shouldn't, using these pumps over here pretty much. So we need to open up condenser valve A with the makeup pump. That'll feed water into hot well A, and you'll notice that this valve on A is on the left hand side. What we're looking for, as soon as this needle starts moving, turn them both off, like close it and turn it off. So we're almost at 35, ready. Come on, there it goes. Perfect, so that needle optimally needs to be like kind of in the middle. See the other needle? It's on the opposite side, so we need to empty it out. This one here, whoop. This one here, yeah. We need to empty that out to balance it out pretty much. So the same thing. Drain. Yep, hot well drain B. Alarm, 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 that's normal. So as soon as this needle flicks in the other direction, do the same thing and close that valve. Like, it's a lot simpler than what you really think. And then you can see our Deaerator is actually starting to level out without changing any pumps or numbers or anything like that. Because if you started changing this number before balancing this, then you still have the Deaerator, the hot well, the reactor, the condensate pumps from the condenser all fighting one another when they shouldn't need to. So wait for it and wait for the needle. There it goes. Perfectamundo. So you see where our needle is right now? That's actually not too bad itself, at least for the startup. We'll just keep it on 35 for now, and we can actually start raising things up and get some power out to the grid.
Should we balance the...
Yep.
Should balance the core heat?
Yep.
So we should do pattern D.
instead of this, what we can do is bring some... Oh, whoa, lag spike. I just brought A2 and A1, the main circulation words. I've just brought them up, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and aim probably for... Let's just start out pretty cool at 3,800. And then we can bring some more pumps on. So we can bring B2, B1. We'll get those two. We'll get those two there. And what we can do is bring feed water pump 2 on. Speed 2. And same thing, balance it out. Condensate pump 2, speed 2. Balancing everything out. We might actually get a Deaerator alarm in a second. Our water's getting not dangerously low, but just low in general. The alarm is just annoying. And then we need to lock in, what was it? Shozy pattern D, what was it? That one.
All the corners. And then...
top. Yep. Yep, so we can just pull these out. Just so we can not lose so much temperature in our core, as I turned a lot of pumps on just then, and we went below 2,500. Below 2,100, and that's barely pushing one turbine startup. You can get both of them started up at 2,100 reactor power, but it can be a little difficult.
Okay, so I noticed there's only 3. There's all these there's only 3 letters. So there's A, B, and C. Well, on the quadrant there's 4. There's A, B, C, D. Why would you, how can you determine, what A2 or B2, what quadrant it does?
I'd just ignore that and just say the top half is core A, and then the bottom half is core B. So, core A.
So,
and then core B.
Okay.
I know, it's kind of confusing. Seven, 6, 5... So what we'll do,
30.
Yep, so we get to about 40 or 30%, something like that. I probably pushed it a little bit too far, and then we'll just deselect any of these hot cores, as pulling out cores around the hot core will actually increase that as well. We're actually getting a lot of temp. Let's get on some more cooling. And before I start doing my trick, this is as far as I'll go while balancing the core. After this, I'll actually turn main circulation pump C2 on and actually use this to kind of speed things up and output power to the grid a little faster. I'll show you exactly what I mean when we get to it, but we're still going to balance things out. What sort of hot cores we got? 1141. That's not deselected, it is now. And then we'd rather just yank out all the cores that we need as much as we can.
I'll
Probably
definitely be watching this video whenever you post it.
Yeah, that's all good. So there we go. That's pattern, what was it, D, completely wasted. We'll lock in E, and we'll use this to finish off the balance. Probably aiming for a temperature between 1,200 and 1,300 maybe. So that one's a little hot. That's a little hot. That's a little hot. That one's getting there. Might be good to start balancing and getting the Deaerator set up for low operation. What's that? What's that alarm doing? Okay, so we've just gone a little more than what we need. That could be slightly annoying. Alright, so what we want to do, what was it? I think it was like, oh, what was my magical number I had? So I turned that one off, and I had this at like 40, that one off completely, and that there. Let's try 45. So what this is doing is that we're technically stealing steam away from the turbines as it's going in here before hitting the turbines themselves at all. So we're reducing the output in power by preheating some water, returning back from our condensers, pretty much. But so we're raising the temperature any more than about 360 psi. The deaerators will have a chance to explode. And we'll see how that one goes. Everything's all over the shop. I'm trying to remember things at the same time. Oh, I need a drink. Alright, so we're at 3,800. 1,200.
Wow, we made so much money.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just because we're like, it's just difficult because it's been so long, as well as what I explained before. We kind of turn things on kind of slowly and everything like that. It'd be so much easier to just go in and just start all over and just get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I swear I'm still like scatterbrained from being in the sun all day yesterday. So we're never actually making power at the moment. If you want to call 7782 and like request to go online, you can really do that at any point. But while we have a chance to make power out of the grid, we might as well. Yeah, because I want more water in it. Yeah. So I'm just going to set the hot well level at 34, one below. So it puts a little bit more water from our hot wells in the deaerator so the alarm won't go off and be so annoying. 1060. Oh, right.
Already change it?
Yeah, we might have just gotten a weird time.
Yep. 1060
Yep.
close. I already set it up for 1060.
So that high inlet pressure is actually kind of normal. That's the pressure and the circuit overpressure I'm kind of talking about, unless that's the temp. No, it's not the temp, it is. So the circuit overpressure alarm right here, hopefully it'll go off kind of soon. And that's when we're getting some really good efficiency. 1216.
So if you have like a hot section of that core like we do here, you just leave it alone. You just don't really care.
What would be the smart idea is if I delete all my selection there, and then I'll select some of like the previous pattern, like pattern D. Oh, was I selecting the wrong thing? Was I before?
No.
Huh?
Yeah, you were using pattern E before.
Wrong one. That and I think it was, yeah. So yeah, you just select that core and then just insert that one from the previous pattern to what you're preferable to.
So you were talking about this circ pump C2. Did we turn that on yet or no?
The circ pump C2. Almost. I want a nice balanced reactor, nice balanced core. Oh no, I don't want to remove that. I want to insert that one. I'll probably aim for about 1300, but I'll reduce this to about 1250 on this core specifically, because raising the rest of them will obviously increase this core as well. So then I'll just deselect that, and then I'll lock in all of the next pattern, and then just once again deselect the hot cores. That one's already off. 1150, 12. Might do a little bit on those, to be honest. There we go. That should do just about nicely, almost. And then yoy. Yeah, so what I normally do is I'll reselect the entire of the last pattern, the one we have the most wiggle room with. Was it side, 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 side? Yep. And then right now is when I'll turn that pump on. So we can deselect, obviously, the colder core, which is going to be the bottom half. Oh, the hotter core. Deselect the hotter core, obviously. And only select the cold one. And we can just retract whatever's on the top of it to match the bottom.
Oh, so you don't like running split core like the other people do? You kind of like want to make the whole thing
the same color? Yeah. Roughly the same, because I'll turn this pump on, more or not, to increase power a lot quicker than others. There we go, deselect that back bit. Cool, so then I'll select in pattern C, what I call, or everyone calls, the power pattern, because this is what you use to retract or insert to increase power or decrease power. Alright, so what do we got here? $612. So they're requesting 1200. And it says 612. So what I usually do, instead of 612, I'll just do 610. And the reason why I'll do, say, a couple of megawatts below the set demand in that cheat sheet, because when you reduce your power output to the grid itself, you'll bring the power down faster to meet the current demand by bringing it down that extra 2 than what it would be if you set it correctly, if that makes sense. So those extra 2 megawatts, the bypasses have to close to meet that demand leeway, is longer if you're accurate with that number. If you just take that 2 or so off on each, you get to the current demand faster.
The temp, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 1200.
Yep.
Do we need to run the reactor power at 3800?
No, so now is the time we'd go up to like 4,000 at least for now. See what that's like. Probably don't need 4,000 actually. Just do 3950 and we can bring it back down from there. What's our control rods at? 68. They've got plenty of wiggle room, so we don't need to retract any of our control rods out manually. Our computer's going to take over and actually bring us up to what we need. So probably run on down, check these out. We can probably, well, we're sending more steam through them, let them balance out with their temperatures a little bit more. And if necessary, if it's too cold, we'll turn one of the pumps down a speed or something. Swing on over to the core. So you can still see we're way below that 1600 degree Fahrenheit like danger limit. Anything above that, then you've got a chance for that fuel channel leak and then pretty much meltdown after that. What have we got? So we are bringing up the power slowly. What's our Deaerator at? It's at 400 and climbing. Actually not too bad, to be honest.
Yeah, and like you said, this could be like 9 or 99 with no warnings.
Yeah, and like anything above 360 psi is then it'll have a chance to explode. So before I forget,
so psi matters, Fahrenheit does, or the temp doesn't.
Yeah, temp doesn't, Fahrenheit. The pressure does for sure. So our pressure in the ECCS, a lot of people kind of play out what I do and then leave it and forget about it, and something just explodes in the background. because this is like gone way above the 3000 and it's like destroyed your emergency core cooling system. So even as it is now, that's more than what we need. We can just go and stop creating it and turn just the feed valve off, really. So that won't increase anymore. And we didn't use any of our nitro apart from what needs to go through the pipe itself now when I open the nitrogen valve. So we didn't use any of it, and that pipe is now pressurized, so when we use the injection valve, it'll use the pressure in that tank to push the water in the water tank into the reactor if there was that emergency and the core water was too low or whatever. Did I set the wrong number? Hang on. 1200. 612.
No, you did 6 then. Are you looking at B?
Ah, the bypass valve wasn't on. There we go. There we go. That's better. There we go. We're on power now. We're making it finally. Usually, what is it? Like there's some challenges and all that sorts of stuff, achievements in the game. What else do you want me to explain? I know I've explained a lot of random stuff that you probably know already.
Yeah.
Just the Deaerator,
so
yeah.
Let's say the Deaerators are, the pressure is rising. Would you change the inlet valve or you change the inlet, right?
It's hard to say. I know that's a really bad thing, but obviously...
Or would you fill it with water?
Obviously, the more you open the inlet valve, sorry, the relief valves, the more you open the relief valves, the more steam and technically volume of water in this system is leaving the system itself. It's being vented to the atmosphere. That's what that relief valve is. It's getting rid of the gases in that process out of the system to stop the corrosion and all that sorts of stuff. But with that allows the temperature increase. So as I said before, with the boiling water reactor, we want it to boil, but the pressure stops it from boiling, or at least it should. The more pressure there is, the less boiling you'll have. But in turn, all of that, that's how you get your relative efficiency.
Yeah.
I tend to leave the relief valve alone as they are and don't fluctuate it any more than about 8 or 7% on both. As if you use Deaerator B, you're just wasting stuff. There is no coding in the game that would benefit you in using Deaerator B at the moment. That's why I'm only using Deaerator A's inlet valve. So the more inlet valve you have, the more steam you're stealing away from the system output to preheat the water before it goes in. And obviously a lot more temperature. The more inlet valve, the more pressure you'll get overall. We got 1460, wow. 740. Almost max. So we'll probably want to go 4,000. So because it's such a jump, I'm going to turn my C2 pump up 1 speed. Might even be good to, yeah. We're a fair distance away from that, so let's turn that all the way up to speed 3. So you notice how I don't use C1 at all. I never use this pump, especially now that we're not using random failures or anything. I have no reason to. That's my backup pump. Oh, finally, that's what we want. Stay lit for me, baby. So yeah, that allows us nice high relative efficiency. We're pumping 130 plus now. But we are not meeting demand. We are going up by 2s at least. Might run down here. Yep, I thought so. Just need to bring a little more cooling to the turbines and the condensers themselves.
Okay, so, alright, this section, this is the one thing I didn't get entirely. So, you don't want these to get too cold, but when would I know to bring these higher? When you're not making power fast enough, or like?
So generally if it goes above the 200, or I think it's above 150, the screen will start to vibrate, and that's because the turbines are actually overheating and causing that turbine vibration. So then that's when you'd need to bring it down. But since there's no, I think there is turbine damage now. If it was just a slight shake, I think anything more than 1.1 UMs or ohms, I think it is, then the turbine will kind of blow up. But anything under that, you're generally okay with for at least a short while. So at the moment, technically real life, the colder the condenser is, the more condensate that can happen to change the steam back into water. But in the game, you want to balance it out so it's not too hot, not too cold, where now it's quite cold. We're making power. No, we're still not making power.
4100.
I'll just smack in 4200 so it gives us that temperature fast, and then I'll bring it down. Very scattered, very scattered. Yep, so I'm guessing our control rods, yep, they're completely retracted out at the moment. What have we got on our... We actually have quite a bit of leeway on pattern E, so I'm actually going to lock in pattern E entirely. Side, 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 side. And I'm just going to like retract some of these out, to be honest. We've got so much leeway on these. And as long as we're retracting them all evenly, see up the top there, we've got 25%. Can't do any more. Probably about there. I'll leave it there. We've gone over, and now those auto control rods should hopefully take over. So we'll lock back in our power pattern. And our computer will actually take over from there. I think I brought my C1 pump online a little bit too quickly. Pulled the call down way too much. Um, 4150. So we're almost there. I'll just drop it down by 50. Try and get a bit more relative efficiency out of it. I know for a fact around 130-ish is what you're aiming for. To get the... pretty much just like the best overall experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're not at like 130, if you're at like 110%, you know you should be able to like bring the reactor power down a little bit. If not, bring some pumps offline that you shouldn't have already. So we are making power out to the grid at the moment, and we're 2 below demand, but it gives us that leeway of 24 megawatts on either side. We're 4 away, might want to bring it up a little bit. What I might do, I might bring these down a speed and see how hot the turbines get. Yoy. $12.50.
Just go 1250.
635. Ooh, yeah, roger that. Think about.
They're getting hot.
That's all right.
They're
We're
at
putting
100
less.
Fahrenheit.
It's all right. They'll be fine. Ignore it. 1 second. Because we're putting less steam, we just brought the power down. That actually solves our problem with that already.
Yeah. So I was in a public the entire game for like 35 minutes straight. Temporary vibration was at like 0.5. Like my screen was shaking. And then I went to go play another game. And then like my eyes, like the screen felt like it was still shaking when it wasn't.
Yeah, the shaking, it can get a bit much, but that's literally min-maxing right there. $4,000, $1,270, $120. So you see we're at 123. We can actually bring it down by quite a bit. Let's go 39.50 at least for now. Don't drop it too fast by too much.
Yeah, like so like 25, 50 increments.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, for sure.
The electrical.
Yeah, even if you drop it by like 50 and then like wait a few minutes and then drop it by another 50, you'll still have that gap in the drop in power, if that makes sense. Like the visual power.
Yeah.
Should be able to bring that down a speed. So pretty much with the main circulator pumps, they do exactly what you think they do. They don't actually create any water from the system. They're just pushing the water around the reactor. Oh yeah, power dropping. Alright. Be back in just a second. I'm gonna get a drink. Yeah, so the next time we bring up power or bring it down, it'll be much easier. Just squeeze a little bit more out of it. And what I usually like to do to get more relative efficiency is you can actually turn the service pump off. And what that does is it's like a pretty much a temporary storage for the hot wells, which is pretty much for your condensers and stuff like that. So as long as these don't empty out, you're fine. And the pump actually fills it up way faster than it empties. 4,300 XP,
Wait.
not bad.
Oh no, I forgot to clock in.
Oh, really?
Oh. Yes, I forgot to go through the turns table.
Oh,
I forgot it does that. So I forgot to get through the turns table, and I didn't get any of that 18,000.
No.
Yeah, it's whatever. So I didn't wait for yours because I kind of went through your clock in. So you got it and I didn't.
Oh, that's hectic. 10:50, 5:35.
Alright, so now I'm clocked in.
So the power demand is 1050, so 537, but because I'm putting 535 in, we'll actually meet demand a lot faster instead of it taking so long to go those final few megawatts.
Yeah.
Trying to explain it that way before, but yeah, brain farts, they're great. Alright, yeah. I'll probably go like 3,800 on this straight up, and then I'll come over here and I'll turn that down. Probably turn it down by one more, but I won't do it too drastically yet. What's it going to be like if I do that? Or it actually might be better if I do that, that, and that. See what sort of temperature we get out of it, because we are really low demand at the moment.
So you turn off these condenser cooler pumps so you can get more relative efficiency.
Yep, so I just turned the pump 1 up to speed 3. I'm just going to view it at the moment. It might not be enough. Yeah, it's not. Just not enough. Right, it'll screen shake for a second. I just fixed it.
It's going down.
1070. What's going down? Ah. So we just need to insert.
It's also, the core is also hot, so yeah, we gotta insert some.
Yeah, so because our auto control rods are inserted all the way, the computer has no more way to actually reduce its power. So we just need to insert. Oh, yep, insert some of that. It's our relative efficiency, 117. Good. No, actually, no, I'm going to leave that. Got 120. Might even be able to get away with more or less than that. 37, 37, 75. We'll buy another 25 because we're at only 120 relative efficiency. We've got a bit of leeway there still.
Yeah.
It's generally the way I do it. There is a website that you can type in and stuff on what like pumps you've got. But yeah, I just can't be bothered. Yeah, I try not to. I try not to use the lights because with the YouTube compression, it makes everything so dark. I know we gain heaps more experience out of it. But yeah, no one can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally my dilemma at this time, it's nearly 5 a.m. in the morning. And we're at 123 relative efficiency. We know 130 is usually our best number, but the power demand does change again at 6 a.m. So in my opinion, we might as well just take the hit, have the higher reactor power for when they bring the power up in less than a minute. That's generally my thoughts.
Yeah.
So with the Deaerator, I don't tend to touch it too much. So I just dropped it to 7 and 7 on the relief valve just now. I usually try and set and forget it. It just ends up being so much easier because the more you fiddle with that, then it takes more water out of the system, less reactor, just complicates things the longer you play for, really.
How long does it take you to get to 3 million?
Took me a while. I think it was about a week where I got 2 million in like a week. I just pumped through the hours.
Oh my gosh. So that's like, alright, so like a day would be, so like at 1 day in this game, so like in between every paycheck, is that like 20 minutes?
Yep. 24 minutes.
1280.
Yeah, cool. So what do we got? 1280. 1280. Yeah. Be 652, so 650. Nope. $3,900. Just chucked it on 3,900. We shouldn't have to change too much here, I don't think. Might bring it up to 4,000 just so we get more temperature faster, and then we can bring it back down again if needed. I'd rather go too far on it and get to the demand faster to start earning money faster than it go up slowly. Plus, I'm kind of impatient like that.
Yeah. Our temp's really low, but we're also going up in power for megawatts reactor power.
Right. Our Deaerator should fix itself soon, even if we bring it up by a little bit. It's saying the pressure's low. It's because we're at 385 and it wants to be at about 150 psi. Just from knowledge, I guess, of playing the game. 1167, 9. Coming up by 2s, so we should make it. We're 100 away now. Oh, we don't actually have random failures on, so I can actually silence this panel and ignore that Deaerator completely. Be nice.
Yeah.
About 20 away. We're almost on demand. It's not too bad. Yeah, so those basins for the service pump, it's still fine. Not even anywhere near close. Almost hasn't changed.
We're moving ever so slightly.
Yeah, and then if you turn the pump on, they fill up so quickly. But yeah, with the, you know how we filled up the hot wells with the condensers, with these condensers, it actually took water from the basins.
From that basin and then put it in.
Yeah, so if you find that one of your basins is like lopsided or whatever, like Pablo Picasso, it's because you filled some up and just took some water out, or emptied one of these out and it went into there or whatever.
Yeah.
1290. Not going too bad on that 4000. We're 11 above, 12 above.
129.5 relative efficiency.
So it's also kind of annoying with the Deaerator, because as your reactor fluctuates with its temperature, the amount of steam it creates, all that sorts of stuff affects the inlet. So obviously the amount of steam you're putting into them. So you can have your Deaerator do all sorts of random crap and you'll be like, I didn't touch it. What do you mean? It's because you've raised your reactor to like outputs like 1500 megawatts to the city, you know?
So you have to take your steam inlet down, right?
Yeah. So when it's like really high demand, it may start whinging and stuff like that. You just do that.
Yeah.
So we're still 18 above, which I'm still fine with. Can't remember what time it is next. I think it's 1 p.m. The power will, or the demand will go up again. We'll probably, we can wait for that, or we can go for a walkabout in the plant or whatever. You got any of the achievements?
I have gotten one achievement, and you know what that is?
What'd you get?
Sending power to the grid.
Oh, brilliant. Right.
I don't think I've walked the facility, but I don't think I've gotten any special ones. Like, there was one of them when I was watching your videos. You play with these things, right? And then you like click around on these monitors, and then like it'll give you like a.
Yeah, that one. So click on that. It just allowed me to click on it. Yeah, keep clicking. Go. Click.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Give me feed water.
Yep.
Don't
So
always take things at face value.
because our Deaerator over here is nice and balanced, as well as our reactor, or it was at the time. That's why our reactor, water level, and the Deaerator were nice and balanced. Plus, having the safest bet is probably to have one up, one sideways. I can't remember which one it is to allow that to happen. Yeah, see, it won't let me do it now. And then the other two achievements I can show you. One really close to us now and the other one that's out front of the building outside on the cooling tower. Both of which, when you collect them, will kill you.
I think I got it. I think, yeah, I've gotten the cooling tower.
Yeah, no,
that
but you
one's, there's
got
like
the
a
other
cat
one?
on it, and you click on it. It's like a floppa, and then you click on it, and then it explodes you.
Yeah. Oh, nah, that one. There we go. Yeah. There's one in here. Ah. You go.
I don't want to clock out.
No, you don't clock out. It's just accessing the area with your dosimeter. Not that way. It is this way, upstairs.
We got a new power man.
All the way to the top. Come out here, go to the left.
This is what I really like about this.
Mass click him.
Yeah, I got that. I think I broke him.
It's a 1 in 4 chance. Oh. Did you get it? You survived as well.
I survived. Yeah, silliness succeeded. Do I get an achievement for surviving?
Brilliant. No, you get it for just doing it itself.
Warning. Unauthorized personnel detected in Sector A. All science, medical, and human resources personnel. Please evacuate immediately.
Yeah. Reactor hasn't changed. We're still 20 above. Oh no, we're actually 80 below. Because we haven't brought up more power. That should do it anyways. Ugh. Yeah, so you know that clicking, that's your dosimeter being on.
I got both on. I got both my, whatever, this radioactive detector, and I got this one.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I got the laser pointer. I didn't bother fully equipping the other one all the time. I can just pick it up from downstairs.
Yeah.
But the laser pointer can't be picked up in game. Okay.
My favorite thing about this game is that most of them are just like either not realistic or like you can't really do much. Like the other one I can see is the hydroelectric plant or something like that. Boiling water reactor plant. That one's super realistic, but
1380-700. Oh.
They I don't know how to put it. It's not as in-depth as this.
Ah, yeah.
Like I feel like that one was easier to learn from me than this one. This one I've been I've been going on and off. Like I probably could have learned it if I stuck with it. But like I maybe found this game a year ago. Played maybe try to start a reactor of my own. I don't even know if I found the reactor room until like a few months ago.
Yeah, it can be quite overwhelming sometimes, but like as long as you get the general gist of what everything does and why, then it kind of goes with it. It's like different nuances of everyone has their own way of doing things, and there is no main real tutorial apart from like the checklists. It's actually a good time. So these needles down the bottom here, you see how they're in the middle?
Yeah.
It means it's the condensers themselves are not gaining or losing any of the temperature. So they're stable and we're actually really efficient right there. Yep, yes. High outlet pressure, that's good, that's fine. Yeah, so I'd just leave that, to be honest. That's quite perfect. We're on power. 130% demand. Oh, relative efficiency. yeah, really not hectic too much. Hopefully you'll be able to do everything on your own really from now. But I'm definitely keen to play some more.
Yeah.
Like, it's really weird. I've started the Reactor so many times, it's not even funny. But the inability to like pause and being able to go do something and then coming back is just a killer. Having a family is just, it's just not able to be done as easy.
Like, you need to find a time where you can sit down and actually like do this without being like,
yeah,
because it's like, it's at that point it's like, all right, I can't pause, so it's like I gotta find a time so I can properly do this. Like, I can't just like leave it, or like it'll blow up or not make power.
yeah, exactly. It needs to be like watched constantly, and the more you watch it, the more relative efficiency you can get, the more money you'll get, all that sorts of stuff.
See, in real life, they'd have a computer all doing this on their own, and only a reactor operator would have to step in if like something was actually needing to be fixed on like by themselves.
Yeah.
Only ever. Like, now it's all like, all the modern PWRs, like everything's moving to PWR. That's what France has. I think France has the most PWRs in the world.
Yeah, it just makes sense. The changeability of the RBMK is just, but it's not always the reactor. It's the operator.
Yeah. Now, the thing with Chernobyl, I mean, this is really early RBMK. It was flawed, and I mean, yeah, the operator made it go back a little too far, but when they went to go scram, the graphite tips made a surge in power, and built up a whole bunch of pressure, and they warped the control rods because of the heat.
Yeah, they did literally everything against the rules.
Yeah, but you know, hiring cheaper labor, having only like having one senior engineer working that shift. Nobody wanted to be there.
Plus the shift had only just changed over as well, so they had all those experienced people ready to do it. They cancelled it because they wanted more power out of the grid. So the new shift came in, all these new guys, like 20-year-olds pretty much.
Yeah, these are young ass kids, or really young guys.
Having absolutely no knowledge, like they knew what they should have done. They even like stood up for it. But yeah, I guess power is everything.
Whatever, it's a lesson. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I mean, they're supposed to happen because, like, I mean, if it didn't happen then it probably wouldn't. It probably would have happened somewhere else.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, yeah, it happened somewhere else, but there's nothing been that scale since like what? There was one in what, Japan? Was it? That was like the last like catastrophic.
Yeah, that was still technically a fault, as they were warned many years before. The Fukushima is what it was technically caused by pretty much their emergency diesel generators being underground, and especially being a plant on the side of a lake of water that is prone to tsunamis, that got 2 years previous to the actual tsunami that screwed everything up, was told that they were insufficient. The dam walls, or the water breaks, or whatever they were just insufficient, and did nothing about it. Tidal wave came in, wiped out the emergency diesel generators, and they had absolutely nothing. All the emergency workers that tried to get on site in time was unable to because they couldn't get there. There was debris on the road. They were screwed in every way, shape, and form. Like, the first time, like, after the first wave hit, they actually brought emergency equipment in, had it on site, ready to connect. The second wave hit and wiped all that out again. Like, little known facts like that, it's like, well, they did everything, they literally just got screwed. Just thinking, might as well... I'm going to bring up the steam inlet valve up to 50 and get that temperature even more as well. Why not?
I've seen some sketchy stuff people do in this game. Like, I mean this guy was just a regular operator. Like, this guy was a senior operator. He messes up. He walks over here and just dumps the ECCS for like maybe 5 seconds and then stops. And then goes back to what he was doing on the control panel.
Yep, I know
about 4
exactly.
times.
I know exactly
Hey,
what he's doing.
We're running at like 145 relative efficiency right now. 150. Like, we're going for like a goddamn or a record or something. Even though the record's like 13K, because like you get that efficiency spike when you are near meltdown.
Oh, good bonus. Yeah, so what he was doing, running over here and then running over there, emptying it out and running it back over here, he was controlling the feed limiter valve, allowing more or less water into the reactor and overall trying to have a low water level in the reactor of about 123 inches. And he does that by using that feed limiter valve and the injection valve to put more water into it and empty it out, whatever it may be. I just found it's too much of a headache, too much running around. I'd rather chill like we are and just earn XP in the background.
Okay, I finally clocked in. Jeez. Alright, there's my money.
Nice.
5,000.
6,001.
I've gotten 5,000, or I've gotten like 5,000 flat before. That was a pretty lucky day.
Yeah, nice. Might as well reduce the power now, 3950, because it's gonna ask us to reduce the power in like 10 seconds anyway.
So Roblox, what they did is they made it so you can't open 2 instances of Roblox at once, like 2, not on the same account, because obviously you can't do that. It's been forever. But like if you were to go on 2 different accounts, right, and try to run Roblox on 2 different accounts on 2 different apps on your computer. So I gotta have 2 Roblox players open, one with my alt and one with this. They wouldn't let you do it. So
Wow.
there's this thing called a handle closer, or you can do it inside Windows. Well, you close the handle and you can open multiple. So I just figured that out. So what I might do is I might play like other games while I play this game, just to grind XP, or just watch like something on my phone.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because this would also be nice because I have a decent amount of RAM, so I can just have this running on my second monitor and be working on like a game or like something, you know? That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, farming XP
like now,
is a little frowned upon.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody does it.
Oh, that's for sure.
At some point. At some point, everybody does it. I mean, some of these people didn't get to 48 million by just like, you know, chilling.
Oh, that's for sure.
There's some of these people with 50 million operator XP, 20 million like security, and they're not even like certified operators. They're not even like Oakridge operators.
Yeah,
like,
those will probably
they have
like moderators.
They have more than like some of like the record holders combined. Like you can combine all the record holders and like some of them still would have more. I feel like this game, all of the scripting went to this conglomerate control panel. That's it. Like other places, like the UI could have been done a little bit better, and like a few other things, but like all of the brain power went to this.
Yeah, it's bit much.
Now it could be just I mean, I doubt it. But it could always be just one huge script. Now, that's really bad. But all it is just formulas. So, like, this is on it, it adds a multiplier. Or, like, I have this inlet, or this steam inlet set to a certain amount, then it's going to add that equation. Someone really smart, somebody really smart studied the whatever reactor book and like figured out all the formulas.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen them? Have you seen them before? My school library had a reactor book, or nuclear engineering book. You open it and you flip to like page like 120, you see this wild like formula. And it's like, it's using variables you don't even know about.
Oh yeah, the equations can be like, is that real?
What?
Some of the equations for all this, and like those sorts of textbooks, and that can be really crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if this game uses them. It could, but I think they'd use it for like
they would have to simplify it for like performance sake.
Yeah. I don't think it's using them directly because most of those are like measuring like decay based on like environmental like variables and like isotope types, all that stuff. Other ones are just like, it's measuring like how many particles and how fast they're moving, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, finally, here we go.
Okay, take a guess. Take a guess on the number.
We're like 1250. 1320.
6.
672. 670. Yep, good.
I'm gonna set that, and then I'm gonna set it to.
Probably need 4,000, and then maybe bring it down from there. But yeah, I reckon 4,000 should be good at 1,300. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna turn the service pump on because we're below 80 on our bases.
Oh yeah, no problem.
But our hot wells is fine, so.
Yeah, this should make us power. We're going up by 2s or 3s. We are about 150 away though. What's the temp of the core doing? Going up or going down? It's pretty much staying stable at the moment.
Yeah. It's sitting at a steady 4,000 output or reactor power megawatt.
Just to be safe, I might do 40-50 in.
Well,
just to make sure. We can always bring it back down again. We're at 124 relative, but it's not balanced out yet.
The chart says for, what is it, 1320? 1320 would be 670, and then it'd be 3800.
Yeah, that's when your deaerator's like real low and you've got the alarm blaring off in the background and really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that also includes the core being low as well, I think maybe.
To all personnel.
Yeah, what everybody runs. That's what I see in public. Like, if you got some experience. The steam inlet's always low. The aerator's always low and it's screaming over there. It's like a Christmas tree.
There we go. There's our favorite alarm right there. Circuit overpressure.
Yeah. Making power.
Bang, hits the microphone. Yeah, it's still coming up. 13, 18, 19, 20.
I have an ultra wide, and I think how the achievements are supposed to work is that it goes off your screen. Well, the UI UX guy didn't do a great job of like setting anchor points and stuff. So instead of it going fully off your screen like how it would on a normal 27-inch monitor, it's on the very far right of my screen.
Wow. I'm just gonna.
So I'll send you a screenshot. I'll send you a screenshot. Instead of it being completely off my screen, I can still see it in the far right.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
No, I exited out of the thing. Hang on. Close down the screenshot and close down my cheat sheet at the same time. I'm like, no, come back.
I tried to make myself a cheat sheet. It was following one of your videos, and this was back in like April. What's it called? What's the sheet? Drive. It was just how to start it up based on, so like auto bypass is set to 20, like auto deaerator control until like a certain amount. It had the shows you pattern sheet, anything to help me if I didn't remember things that were like harder to remember.
Yeah, I find writing stuff down so much easier. Like when we do shutdown, I'll be using my shutdown checklist that I'll have right in front of me, like all written out.
Yeah.
Just because it's funny, I've done so many startups of this reactor, but so little shutdowns.
Because you kind of just leave. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
like
kinda
I'll start
leave.
up, test something, and then just like bugger off, you know?
Yeah, well, what is the point in shutting down? Does it give you extra experience?
Yeah, it does. But if you're running random failures, which is a lot easier than you originally think, that's when it gives you your random failure bonus.
So like, yeah, there's videos on like random failures and how to fix them. They seem pretty straightforward. I mean, the video I found was 27 minutes, which feels daunting, but like the first 7 minutes of it are just straight up like explaining what things do and what they do.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll send my sticky note of the failures. Hang on.
And then the rest of the video is like, oh, here's what you did. Highest until late night, so more 1370. Wasn't bad at all. So that'd be 700.
There we go, just sent them to you. Easy. What are we on? What have we got? 1370. 7695. Here we go. My turn to get that achievement. Yay, 100 XP. Prey gave you 2200. You get it like 2200 for the first like 5 or 10 times. After that, it gives you 100. Yeah, cool. Going good. Yeah, so it's a lot easier when you're running with just one of the main circulation pumps here. Unless you're like wanting 1500 megawatts output demand, it's just so much easier to leave it on speed 2 and just set and forget. Oh yeah, cool. Yep. 73.
129.5. Alright, I'm starting to get it. See, like, during operation, I got that down. Like, how to run it. Like, when the demand comes, what to look out for, get that now.
Yeah. It's just the startup. But pretty much, I'll be more than happy. Once we're finished here and I'll, like, shut down and stuff like that, we'll start up again, for sure, yeah. Whether we finish that playthrough or not, it's up to you. But yeah, my wife may be back at that point. It's only 3 p.m. here at the moment.
It's about 1 a.m. where I live.
Oh, rough.
So I'm about to head off. Yeah.
If you want, we can vote to change the day from 7 to 6 if you want to head out faster, or I'm happy to stay longer. It's up to you.
Wait, 7 to 6.
Yeah, because we're on day 5 at the moment. And it should be able to let us change. Yeah, go to day 7, sweet. We can change it longer if you want, but you just said it's 1 a.m.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head off after this.
No, you're good. So the demand is 1210. Instead of 617, you'd put in 615.
I put in 620.
Yeah, so the way you've done that, you won't actually meet demand because you're over that allocation of 24, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Alright, I will switch to 617.
Yeah, nice. See, that'll be spot on. But because we're bringing down... So if you notice here, the number goes down slower to actually start meeting demand. If you set the 617 to 615 each, it allows us to get lower faster, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's generally the only reason.
So when going down, you're gonna round down, and then when going up, you're gonna round up. So like if I were to like be going from 1050 to 1210, I'd go to 620, right? Instead of
you're more than happy to. I'd usually just round down both ways. I find it's just easier instead of going, oh, what time is it? Oh, I need to do it this way. Just round down all ways. Because as long as you're within 24 megawatts of current demand on either side, below or above, you're making demand, and the sold power does not change for how much you're outputting, only the demand itself. So if it's high demand, low demand, medium demand, will depend on how fast the sold power goes up. So at the moment, I think it's going up by 21 because we're medium demand. Just turn that service pump on, fill it up. 3950. Just dumped in 3925. Just to get that 130 that we know.
Yeah, I turned down the speed on these condenser cooler pumps back here because
yeah, no problem. Play with them a little bit, but remember, if the turbine vibration goes above 1, then we're in dangerous territory.
We're gonna blow up. Yeah.
Even
you usually don't notice. You'll notice before it gets to 1. As long as you don't turn them all off. If you turn them all off, they're definitely gonna shoot up to 1. But like, your screen will scream at you. It's definitely tell you.
You'll be having a fit.
Yeah. So I try to play Naramo, like, you know that one? It's super, super, super simple. Like the easiest, like, you go from this to that, it's like going from a fighter jet to a Mini Cooper.
Oh, really? What? This?
Like,
Which
so,
way?
okay. So, alright. So in Naramo, you basically have a thing, so you have your shutdown control rod switch. That's like on here. You have your coolant pump switch. You have your coolant pump speed, your like water input flow, and then you have your rods, your control rods. Well, you don't have to select on the grid. You just kind of like up or down. Well, when you're sinking turbines, all you have to do is just wait for the steam to come in and then sink it using a sink button. It's just like these turbines, but it's literally just a sink button and the sinker scope. And that's it. And once you sink it, you're making power.
Like super simplified, yeah. All of this matters.
Yeah. Unlike this where it's like you can't, like, if your deaerator gets screwed up, you have too high inlet pressure and you freaking blow up your deaerator because it's at past 150. Like, it's not like that. Like, you don't have to worry about that at all. Like, there is no, like, you don't even have to talk about the water, feed water separators or the plant deaerators. There's not even like a thing in that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
There is circ pumps, but I'll be in there, right? And I'll be adjusting values, and they'll just saying that I'm a LARP roll, or I'm LARPing, or like I need to get out because I don't know what I'm doing.
Wow.
Well, I watched them 7 times fail to sink at the turbines. 7 times in a row.
Naramo's that more military type based one, isn't it?
Yeah. So like you have raiders and like security. It's more security. It's more appealing to the public. So like they have like 1K average online.
Yeah, I'd be keen to try that out.
Like a good number for this game, like a great number is 300, which is rare. That's like update day.
Yeah,
but
true.
Other than that, like an average is like 120. Like around, like, so I'm guessing most of the players are North American because like peak times are like when it's daytime for me. So like there'll be like 170 on. What was it today? I think when you were asleep. Oh, 970. Wow.
Yeah, crazy low demand. So now is roughly the time I'd actually turn the C2 pump down a speed. 38, 50.
Oh shoot. Yeah, watch out. No, it's not bad.
38. We'll drop it straight to 3800, see how it goes. Don't want to drop it too much. We should be able to go a lot further than 3800. A lot further below that. But I just turned that pump down a speed. I want to see it balance out a little bit before.
But going from like understanding how like these like the things like the reactors work, really anyone, like you can go from like a PWR to a BWR easily. It's just there's a few different things, like there's a few things different. Going from like this to like a boiling water reactor game like that one which I've been on, they're not much different.
Have you ever tried Nuclearies on Steam?
What is it called?
Nuclearies.
Let me see if I got this.
Just said it in Roblox chat.
Oh yeah, I can't see your Roblox chats.
Oh, Devo. Hang on. There we go, Discord chat.
It's off by 1 letter. Oh wow.
I did do content on it, but yeah, I had a couple issues, so just stopped.
Pretty cool. This is like, this reminds me. This is like school project. This is what this reminds me of. I don't know why.
It's pretty fun.
Like the game, it's fun. The game's like, it looks like the map was like thrown together using Unreal free assets. Unreal Engine. This is wild. It looks pretty cool. I might play it.
It's a solo dev.
Remember,
Yeah.
security is the first step towards a safe work environment. Stay secure. Stay vigilant.
117 relative efficiency.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it down, maybe 3,700. Power's gonna, or demand's gonna go up in a minute and a half. Just trying to mid-max. We have our service pump on as well. I'll turn it off in a second. Just let them fill up, because every time you shut down, you need that service pump on. If you try and shut down without that on, you're gonna have pump cavitations and problems.
I turned off pump A2 or coolant pump A2 and B2 because they don't need it because we're at 50. We're like that freezing. $124, yeah, that's shot right up.
Ha! There we go. Just bringing out my shutdown checklist, getting ready for it somewhat. Because technically we've got the end of today and the end of tomorrow before we need to shut down at midnight, day 7.
Dude, time flies by in this game. That's like really just a night thing. Like always the nights fly by for me. Like the daytime takes forever. But like 2 hours we're already into this. That's 7 days. And we have what we were running this for like, so 20 minutes. We were just kind of like messing around. 21 minutes.
Yeah, time does fly. I usually find it takes like maybe up to 20 minutes sometimes to just start up.
Yeah. 1370.
I got my cup of joe.
Oh, wow.
So the best way for you to do it is if you come up here, push yourself against the wall, and then like scroll wheel out, and then like move it around the third person way, click the red button or click the coffee thing and you get one. So the red button on the coffee machine will actually make the coffee, and then you gotta wait, and then you can click the
Wait,
coffee thing itself.
you get it through the glass?
Yeah, so
Oh, I see
scroll
it.
wheel
I got
out into third person and then move your camera into the room. By,
Oh,
like,
I got it. I
yeah.
got it. You gotta like mangle it in there. It's-
Yeah. Yep.
Let me guess, you can get the random failure screen from here. That is so messed up. So like you can be like a junior or like some random like visitor and just turn on random failures.
Yeah, that's why I don't generally show that bit. But if you did
Yeah.
turn random failures on, you'd have a red line saying random failures on or enabled.
Yeah. Most people barely read it unless somebody blows something up.
100%. But anyone that's running a reactor in a public, what's the name, should be able to deal with any of that. It's just when one troll turns into 2 and they both do something at the same time and you've missed something. Oh, we are not making demand at all. 1350, 685.
Yeah, we have so much wiggle room because I did remove some of the power configuration because we were hitting 0 and we were under the auto set. I could probably turn these pumps. You turn them on. Yeah.
Just speed things up there a little bit.
Which says a 20.
Go. I find 4200.
21.
Yeah, I find 4200 is unnecessary unless it's like max output needed. Like that right there should bring our, yeah, it's bringing it up by 4 megawatts a second almost. Because they also brought C2 pump up a speed, as well as the condenser pumps up a speed as well, while you were doing that.
Bring the pressure of the aerators up. I had them lower because the alarm was really making me annoyed, so I had to turn it down because it was right at the threshold where it was in between 49 and 50, and it keep bouncing between it. So I'd silence the alarm, and the next thing you know, the next second it turned back on because it's just hit one thing.
Yeah, it's just so much easier because you're not using random failures. Just press the red button and just silence it completely. Like, you should be able to understand that the 50% or whatever it is, and like a 7 or 8% on the relief valve is generally what you're aiming for, and obviously you know the dangers with working it. So I reckon you should be safe and just completely ignore any alarm that comes out of the deaerator.
Yeah, that's what people do in pubs. So they just it's like there's an alarm for the deaerator. That's like the mentality.
Yeah. Usually I'll try and work this between, say, 45% at high demand, 50 at medium, and then like 55 at low demand, if that makes sense, for that inlet valve. Are we not making power? We are making power. There we go.
We're at demand.
We are making power. Yeah, we are. I think we're just making it now.
Yeah. We can probably do that. Nah, we're good.
Yeah. I don't think the power... Oh, the power might actually go up to max after this. I reckon it will go to 1500 after this, which we should be able to leave it maybe...
1370 for 11 in the morning.
Yeah, it'll go up at 1 PM, so 1300. Oh, there we go. Cool. Service pump off. 2.5% increase. There it goes. Yeah, we're nowhere near any danger with that pressure on the deaerator, which is the only thing we really care about.
Yeah.
Could push it a lot more than that, but I find if you bring it up higher than like 60% or whatever it is, you'll need to open your relief valve more and more, which then lets more water out of the system. Then eventually it'll create a problem where the deaerator level over here just drops way too far and just becomes too unrecoverable.
Yeah, I'll experiment when I understand the game better. I'll experiment with efficiency.
Yeah.
Those people running out for world records. Like, yeah, not the shutdown record, but like more like the efficiency records and like the money records. Like, there's like so much. They just push it to the absolute limit all the time. And some of it's luck.
Oh, 100%. I've actually seen someone run with 100% inlet valve and 0% relief valve. But like, I think the game bugged out and just allowed her at the time to just rock it like that. She was pushing like 180 at the time % efficiency. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, 1500. Here we go.
Well,
1470. I'll push this up. 4300.
Probably don't need to, just turn this up. I'd just leave it at 4100.
Yeah. Efficiency.
Because we'll gain a lot more steam by just circulating more water around the core.
We're fine. Yeah, we're just fine.
So the only thing is now, because we're at a new highest demand, the only thing we have to worry about is our core's water. So if we're creating too much steam to make the power we want, if this thing would
We
shut
put more feed
up.
water on.
Here we go. Hate that alarm. We may need to bring one of these feed water pumps up one speed only. So it's the only time you'll misbalance your feed water pumps to your condensate pumps when your core is running low on water. So we can actually look and see if it's low on water or going low. Nope. So we're not hot enough at the moment, so we're good. But usually...
Yeah, we can probably push it up to, what, 42 or 4150, because we're kind of at a standstill at
yeah,
1438.
4150. Yeah, you can do it if you want 4150 for sure.
Yeah, random
should get us
failures
up there.
would be fun to try whenever I become more advanced. I gotta start up the reactor on my own first.
Yeah.
Like I got it once, so I followed a tutorial, got it, right? Didn't know what to do when the core water got too low, and I let it blow up. And all I had to do was turn on feed water.
Yeah, pretty much. But then you'll be taking water out of the deaerators, and if they empty out,
Yeah,
then
it's
your
a
feed
whole
water pump
cycle.
cavitates and trips.
Yeah.
Alright. Why is this not coming up more?
Okay, 42. It actually went down.
It's because I brought that pump up and it's cooled the core down just a little bit too much. Okay, we've got about 20...
120.
Yeah, that should bring it up a bit more.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, we're going up
482,
one megawatt at a time.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're not gonna break the record, man.
Nah, that's the thing with reactors. You just gotta like take your time almost. Like you can really min-max it, and I'm like more distracted than anything like that at the moment. It's been a while since I've played, but next time we jump in, I'll definitely be keen to try out the random failures and just kind of expect to know more, you to know more, if that makes sense. So we can just pump through things.
Yeah.
We'll know what each other needs.
Yeah. See, like I get on and I'm like, I want to play. I want to play this game. I want to try it out. And then I'll get on and I'm like, I don't understand this all the way, and I fail. And I'm like, all right, I'm 3 tries in. I think I need to give it a break. And then I really want to play, but then I'm like, oh, what? I can't really contribute because I'm not like, I don't know.
Yeah. There is a lot to it. Yeah, a lot simpler than what you really think.
Yeah.
Like, I just run my reactor as simply as possible.
And it's like if you mess up, it's just all you waste is just like 20 minutes. Like if you mess up on startup, oh, it's 20 minutes. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you really get that mad about it, just take a break for like 30 minutes and come back.
Yeah, exactly. It just does suck that there's no revert feature or pause or
Pause,
whatever.
yeah. You like pause and be like, all right, let's think. What would I need to do? But I mean, in private servers, it makes sense to pause, but like not in like.
Yeah. Roblox is Roblox.
You can most definitely pause it. I just think it'd be a lot for the developers to implement because they did not think of this before. It actually like it caused problems. So like that'd be something they do in a really late update. Like
Yeah.
they really want to bring the future of this game out. I'm thinking like if this game is still like around that time, 2 years from now, that's when I could possibly expect a pausing system. But
Like Nuclearis, you're able to like save the game, pause it, revert back to it, all that sorts of stuff.
yeah. But the thing about that was thought about when the game that was like planned out before the game was being made. See, it's hard when you just do something and then you're like, all right, this is something that I need massive. Like, I need to pause everything. So, like, I don't want it to just pause the player, to pause Roblox. No, I want it to only pause all the reactor values. So you're going back into, like, thousands of lines of code that you, like, wrote a while ago, and that might bug out.
Yeah,
So,
that you need to halt briefly, technically.
Yeah, and the debug would be insane because it's like you not know if it's gonna work right, and it might be laggy or.
Yeah,
whatever.
it just takes one thing to be incorrect upon the reload, and it would screw the entire experience to the point where you'd want to restart anyway.
Yeah. So, okay, so you get like half as many security points, 1270. You get half as many security points as operator when you're playing an operator.
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely reduced. I don't know what the reduction is though. But obviously, sign in as security, you get more as security. You sign as operator, you get more as operator. But if you sign in as security, you are not able to touch any single button or switch in the control room whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to the thing where you like, you know, certain people like can't talk to me and I can't talk to certain people. Security cadet, I mean, he was a good operator. He was like a senior operator. He's coming over here. He was like a medium rank security, senior operator. He's over here with the laser pointer, like, oh, you messed up, and he's like pointing over here to like, oh, you gotta open these these drain valves. Like, all right, I barely understand this guy.
Right. I just turned that main circulation pump down a speed. See what happens.
We can probably turn these down. Yeah.
Yeah, the condenser's probably down a bit. Just waiting to bring the reactor power down a bit. Just want to wait for the temperature to balance out a little bit more. I think it would be good to bring it down though.
I brought it down to 41.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah, we can get more efficiency.
Yeah.
124.
Get that usual 130. Yeah, so even though the reactor's actually made what we've set it to, the core is obviously still balancing itself, so this will still change as that still changes temp.
Okay, yeah, this game is a lot simpler than I thought.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, the startup is a little rocky, and then it's like while you're operating it, it's like.
Yeah. If you start up properly, then the rest of the playthrough is fine.
Yeah.
Like, the startup is everything. As long as you set yourself out, like, setting yourself up to have unlimited almost, like, nitrogen is so much easier and don't need to worry about certain stuff.
I haven't played Satisfactory in a while. The last thing I did was I made another coal plant because I had a few of them.
Yeah, I love that game.
I started out with a rat's nest.
Oh wow. I made the mistake of unlocking all the like alternate recipes and stuff, and I'm like, holy sh which one do I want? Too much choice.
When I first started the game, I started with a rat's nest. The whole thing with what I did, instead of making a proper factory, like how they intended you to play the game, I just sped run through and getting everything I could possibly unlock. So it was a rat's nest. Afterwards,
Yeah.
I first started my first power plant, made a coal power plant. That was the first thing I've done, or first thing structured I did, and then I started the factory, like a proper one. But even then, it was still, I don't know, man.
Okay.
It was like, all right, let's try to beat the game before like we do anything proper, and then I did something proper. Like I had like some really high level, like level, what is it, like level 6. Like I was like, I forgot what it was. I got like some special, yeah, I was getting those tubes. I got those tubes really early on. Before I even needed them.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the suction
yep.
tubes that send you through.
Yeah.
I don't think I have installed anymore, but I got about 50 hours on it. Last played it last year. May 20th, 2025 was the last time I played it. That's wild. Just I played it when 1 and 1.0 came out.
I guess. Hopefully it wasn't too early for me to drop that power even more, because we've got less than a minute now before the demand changes. So hopefully we'll be lowering the power within the minute from now.
Oh, 40, 48, 85. Because we were messing around.
Yeah, it can be rough sometimes.
We also had a 9. We also had a 970 or like a 950.
No. I actually missed that. I don't even know what I got. Hang on. Beauty of recording, I can go back and have a look.
Yep. I gotta look at something. There's a diagram in the break room of how the reactor works, or how the circuit works.
Yeah, and when you
1000.
first go through the turnstile near the lobby, there's some good posters that explain a lot of different stuff as well.
I might check those out. Day 7. Fall damage, bro. Fall damage is my number one, like, arch nemesis in this game.
Yeah, it hits hard.
How many times I've jumped down the stairs and just like broken my legs. I'm gonna go in the reactor room. Just make the rod bounce.
Yeah, you're good. I'll control this up here. But this is the last day before shutdown at midnight tonight.
Yeah, I'll blow it up later on my own. What I also like about this game, all the sounds it uses, so the music, the walking, the doors opening, the sound of the turbines, it's all public. They're all free assets on Roblox. So like if I ever saw like...
No, I still get copywritten.
Really?
Yeah, the danger music? I got, yeah, the danger music when the reactor's in like critical state.
Yeah. When the reactor's critical, I think that music, that's the only private music. Now, other than that, like the music that's playing on this radio, this is public. So if you go into Studio, which I have a file of this because, you know, there's people who like steal games. Well, I have a file to check it out, like how this game works, which was pretty damn cool. I couldn't understand it at the time. All the audios that you can either copy or you can use, like if you can copy the audio and use it on a boombox, then it's not private. But if you copy the audio ID and you can't use it on a boombox, then it's private.
Right.
Like, it
Are
just
you
won't play.
playing music or something, are you?
Oh no, it's over here in this radio where I'm jumping. You hear it?
Nah, I got nothing. I think I have music turned off anyway.
Yeah.
Terrible relative efficiency at the moment, but it is what it is. We're about to go up in power
20
in a bit.
or
Alright, screw it.
I can turn these pumps off because it's for ice cold. And then some
Power's probably
Still ice
gonna
cold.
jump up pretty fast at some point. I wonder what it'll go to next, like 1300 maybe?
Dude, some of these people on this platform are on this game 8 hours straight. Like, the staff of the week, like, you just get that by just playing.
Oh yeah, crazy numbers.
You're just sitting there like... You're sitting there like monitoring it while you're doing something else. Like,
yeah.
if I had like a low demand job and I was really into this game, yeah, maybe. But like, even then...
Too much time.
You either run it like how we're running, which is really chill, or you run it at maximum efficiency, which takes, you have to actually like baby it. You have to actually like be there, walk it through everything.
Oh, it just becomes a marathon.
Yeah. It's fun, and then it gets boring.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've min-maxed it as much as possible. Like, I've tested it out with that feed limiter valve and at the 123 lower water level, 123 inches water level in the reactor, and just running backwards and forwards all the time. It's just not worth it to me. I'd rather, like, almost set and forget. And, like, 130% relative efficiency is pretty good in my opinion.
1250. Yeah, 130 is like the above the gold standard, I guess. Cool. 835 or 635. What did you set? 39.
Might need a little more because I'll turn that pump up now, expecting them to go up again soon.
Go down, go down, go down. It's not that big of a deal.
You're right.
You guys overreacted.
Learning. Yeah.
No,
like
no, I'm talking to the turbines.
Yeah, I know.
Turbines are overreacting. It's not that big of a deal, bro.
Yeah, it's perfect. I have the same reaction. It's like, calm down, calm down.
You guys are violently shaking.
Yeah. They're not having a good day and you're telling them that everything's fine.
Hey man, at least we're not running at like 0.7 and we have to replace the turbine blades every week.
I can't wait until the engineering update comes out. No idea
What's
when.
it gonna be like? I didn't read the notes on it at all. Is it supposed to be like you're replacing stuff and you're like actually responding to the calls?
Yeah, because if you walk around the plant, there's actually like switches for breakers. Everything works around the facility.
Yeah, there's switches and stuff. Yeah, it's like it was built in, but like never.
Plus, like everything as well.
What they should do is have a guide system, but I don't know if current players would like that, because you know how like some players say they're like, I don't want the new gen, you know, I want it to be all skill. I want them to learn like how I learned. But even that's kind of hard. Either that or a highlighting system.
Yeah, it's difficult for a game like this. Just tutorials in general, like, I know the difficulties for it. It really is. It's not as easy as everyone thinks.
It's like, yeah, you have a tutorial, but it's like, I mean, tutorial can help you on startup and shutdown, but it can only get you so far. How many devs work on this? Like 3?
I am
you have, like,
honestly not sure.
It's Chris Dev. Ross, whatchamacallit. Yeah, I only see 2 of them right now.
Yeah, I've got no idea actually. Try and leave the service pump off a little bit more, but we definitely need to turn it back on again for shutdown.
Yeah. What, we're at below 80? Yeah.
Alright, back in a tick, 1 sec. So to speed things up and to get the power up a little faster, you can just retract a little bit of pattern C out like I did. Kind of speed things up a bit.
Yeah.
1410. Oh, that magical alarm. Just wondering if we need that extra. No, I don't think we'll need that extra pump up.
Service pump. We need that on.
Yeah, I was trying to let it go as long as possible to get the max relative efficiency before needing to turn it back on. What have we got? 13. Cool.
Hot. I'll make it power.
Yep. So it should be okay. I just reduced the power, so that temp should go down a bit. That should be just about our last demand change, I think. Before needing to shut down. Yeah, so I've got the shutdown checklist in front of me. So we request to go offline at like 1 AM, just so it's easier, so it's low demand at that point. Then we eventually get the reactor to 3400 with all of the main circulation pumps C fully off. Deaerator inlet at 0, relief at 50, auto control off. And then we'll start shutting down turbine B the slow, safe way, I guess.
And we have the service pump on.
Yeah. Maybe turn it off to just a little bit, max it. There you go, 132. We'll turn it back on again before we need. It's got plenty of water in there at the moment. Fills up like 10 times faster than it empties. Yep, cool. Power's starting to come down a little bit, very slowly, but that's fine. We're still 18 above at the moment.
131.9 relative efficiency. Oh, Deaerators are running a little high. It's fine. And up, down.
Yeah, they're good. No, so you don't want that. Like, leave that about, yeah, 45. Remember 45 at high demand, 50 at medium, and then 55 at low demand. Because you want to put more steam into it when you're not wanting to create as much, if that makes sense. So you might as well, like, preheat it before it gets max demand later on.
Warning. Unauthorized personnel
There we go.
detected in
Looks like our
Sector A.
power output's
All
kind of stabilized at
science,
1426 there.
medical, and human resources personnel, please evacuate immediately.
Oh, I was wrong. That's right. 1900 would have been the last one we go.
1290. 1290. Hang up. $6.55. This is the last one before shutdown.
Yep, now it is. Yeah. Basins are fine. Service pump can stay off for a bit more.
Okay. No, no, no. God damn it. That's just
alright.
a generator. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I just tripped the whole goddamn place. Oh my god.
You're right. We can sync that back. That actually might be a good thing. So you see how our generator B, that's actually still supplying power to our electricity and our pumps and pretty much. As long as this doesn't get below like 40, we should be fine. So I might actually decrease the flow in the bypass on this one because I opened it up just so it didn't do too much damage. We've got to wait for it to get below, I think 600, might be less than that, before we can even open
600.
the turbine
600.
valve. Yeah, 600.
Okay, so, alright. I flipped this generator A on accident by just clicking. Like, I wasn't even paying attention. I kind of just acted. I'm like, oh shit, if I release.
What, you accidentally
then...
clicked that?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh
right. It
crap,
just
if I
desynced
release,
it.
then. Yeah.
Hey, fun.
Whatever.
So what we'll do is we just open up the turbine valve slowly, and what we're doing is we're watching this. We want that needle in the middle.
Okay.
That's kind of spot on right there, really. So now we're going to do the exact same thing. Get this to the 1800. So turn off the auto bypass and preset 20. And enter it. Yep, without turning it on. Yep. So that's preset it. So without it being on, it won't do anything. Plus that is on, so it does make a difference, if that makes sense. Hang on. So we'll just wait for around 1200-ish. Wait for that to spin up. High inlet pressure. Yeah, we're okay. Hush. Go check our reactor quickly. Everything's stable. Everything's nice and cool. Check the lights over behind us on bus A and bus B. All lights are green, so nothing's tripped, nothing's failed. We're just waiting for this. So once this gets to about 1700, just hit the grey button and it will enter 0 on the... Actually, we'll wait for it to get to 1700. We'll just turn it on, sorry. So you can actually turn the auto bypass on now if you want. So it'll actually even out everything and start opening the bypass to slow that number down. So what we're aiming for is 1775 and 1825. In between that is when you'll get this beep starting and you can always like sync it up and stuff. So when it gets to about now is when I'll smack in 0. So I've pre-entered 0. It's going to slow it down even further, allowing us to get that needle slowed down up the top. So when it's at 1800, just sync it up.
Warning. Unauthorized personnel detected
Yep.
in
So now you'll need to open the turbine valve itself
medical and human
up to 60.
personnel.
If you do it too fast, just watch this vibration as you do so. Yep. Yep, stop, stop, stop. So you'll need to open it with the precise. Yep. So we'll turn the auto bypass off because we want to stop that and we actually want to close the actual bypass valve with the precise as well. So sometimes this can take a bit of time, but it is what it is. And unfortunately with this, you can't actually like set things out. So what do we got on that? 655. So I just entered 655, what we already had on turbine B, and I just turned the auto bypass on at the moment. So it'll do its thing. That's all set out. The bypass will close itself. And that is the end of that. So we actually need to meet power because we had that kind of failure. We want to make sure that there's no issues when we shut down. We want to get that OSHA approved shutdown achievement. So what we want to do, since we had a failure kind of just then, we need to now wait and output power to the grid for at least a couple minutes, and then we'll request to shut down. So we shouldn't need to do anything here. Just wait. We should be good. What's that?
11:30.
11:30. So we'll set everything out as normal. 5:25. Yep. Auto bypass, just make sure everything's all on, we're all good. We just need to meet power. We don't need to meet it with relative efficiency, we just need to make sure we're actually going to do that. Why are we not going up in power? 11:30, 10:50.
Don't forget,
11,
today is pizza day.
575?
Wrap yourself on slice.
I might have said that wrong, that might have been my bad.
You said 525. That's fine, whatever.
Nah,
wait,
Debo,
so when you're the first person, what is the button that makes sure your mouse move around free?
Double tap F.
Yeah, I've accidentally hit it once before.
Yeah, it's the F button. Sometimes you gotta press it twice. There we go. So we are meeting power at the moment. Just bring that down to 3800 just a little bit. 3850. There we go. We'll just wait like a minute while we're meeting demand to make sure everything goes good, because we want that OSHA approved shutdown achievement. Just safer. Got that service pump on. Let's turn that service pump on now to make sure that we don't have to worry about it later on. Cool. Alrighty then, cool beans. So you can request to go offline through 7782 if you want. Yep, there we go. So now we can see the city's not requiring anything up the top. So now we can go ahead and shut down. First things first is we go over here and we set our reactor to 3400 and enter that in. As the temperature comes down, we want to ensure that our C2 pumps are completely off and anything else that we need to. So we're just watching the temperature at the moment. It's actually coming up quite severely at the moment because we need to insert... Let's lock in pattern E. It's gonna like kind of unbalance it a little bit, but that's okay. Let's just insert some of these so we can get what we want. There we go, so that's coming on down, that's better. Doesn't matter about balancing the core or anything like that at the moment. So since we're doing that, we need to lower some of those down. And insert some more. There we go. So there's 3,400 right there. That's what we're aiming for. All our C2 and C1 pumps are completely off. Let's go over to the Deaerator. Auto control is completely off. We want to set the relief valve on both sides to 50. Ignore any alarm that you hear on this thing from now on, and we're setting both of the inlet valves to 0. Both at 0. So now we want to do the turbine B run down. Make sure you're not going over here and running down the wrong turbine. You want turbine B. See, we need to turn the AB bleed valve off. So that's this one over here. So that gets turned off. And then we set the auto control to 50. And then while we're here, we'll come on to turbine A and we'll set this to 250. So we only need about no more than about 50 for any of the pumps that we will eventually start bringing down later on. So 250 is more than enough for what we'll need. So while we're waiting for this to go to 50, once it hits 50, we'll click down to 0 and then we'll go and desync it and shut down turbine B completely, and then run back over here because we'll need to equalize the pressure that's completely dropping by opening that AB bleed valve afterwards. So we're just waiting for this for now to get to where we want. Let's check the reactor. It's a little spicy, but we're fine. It's nowhere near 1600. Stay over here. Let's hit 0 on the bypass right now. So what we're waiting for is we run on over to here. We're waiting for that generator to produce no more than 10 megawatts out of it. So you can see it almost just here, or you can see it on the generator all the way over there.
10,
so yep, now
10.
So now you can actually go ahead and click this button here to desync and shut down generator B. Yep, cool, done. Run back over. Now we need to actually go ahead and wait for this pressure to come up so we can balance it out on the other side. So let's close the bypass. Desync turbine and bypass, yep. Turn off the auto bypass itself so it won't fight us on closing both valves. See that pressure jumping?
Yeah.
Hang on. Just acknowledge that stupid alarm. We need to turn that AB bleed valve on when it's the same over here as it is there. Does that make sense? Let me do it because it's very, very important we get this right. Doesn't have to be completely accurate. Yep, there we go. Because if you don't do that, you'll blow up your turbine and it's just not going to be a really good day. Okay, cool. So equalize, then AB bleed valve on. All condensers B1 to B4 off. Because we shut down turbine B, we don't need cooling on turbine B. There's nothing going through it, as you can see. Nothing at all. What do we got next? We need condenser A3, A4 off. Yep, sorry. So condenser A3 and A4 we never turned on. We need to make sure they're both off. Feed water and condensate A2. Condenser, just making sure. Yep, that's all right. That's completely normal because we shut that down. We know it's going to be empty. We're still producing 250. Just got to make sure I kind of go through here nice and quick. All condenser B1, B4, A3, A4, 2 and 3. Okay, so let's start bringing down the temperature of the reactor now. So now we're aiming for 2100. Let's whack that in just there. I'm actually just going to hit all those pattern E in.
They're already in.
Yep, so now we're going to try and get feed water and condensate pumps off, as well as bring down our cooling as well, because we only want A2 and A1 on at the time. Yep, here we go. So turn that off. Sorry, not off, but down. I'm pretty sure we should be safe to turn that off and that off. So condensate pump 2, feed water pump 2 are both off. Pretty sure we've hit the max out on that one. So let's get pattern C in, and let's just insert some more of those. I gotta hold the push to talk button while doing stuff at the same time. It can be quite confusing sometimes. So we're not trying to get too cold of a reactor here. So now I'll turn B2, B1 off, and then go back and insert a little bit more because we're aiming for 2100. Yep. Bring down A1 and A2 a speed. Let's just make sure we're not destroying any of the steam we're creating, because we still need to create power to generate power for most of the pumps on bus B. So any of the pumps over here on bus B is what we're trying to maintain kind of at the moment. 2100, let's go a little bit more. There we go, we're just about there already. 97, 98, 99, 100, perfect, cool. A1, A2, so we need to call clearance request at the present moment. If you can call clearance request 7782. And our plant usage is below 34 megawatts. So what the clearance request should do is swap over one of these 3 breakers to allow us to go and shut down. So you called the clearance request and it was approved?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet. So we should be able to now press that primer button and watch what happens to these 2 breakers. Swaps over. So now we're on our startup transformer, which is why we needed to turn off most of the pumps and bring our plant usage down below 34 megawatts. Doesn't matter about that. I really don't know what that's for, to be honest. Okay, so now we need to run down turbine A, and that's pretty much the exact same thing as turbine B. Run on over here, type in 50 into the auto bypass, select that in, wait for it to drop down below 50, hit 0, wait below 10, and then desync it. Because calling for request to clearance, what we did before, actually gives us power from off-grid. Actual bypass. Just waiting for that. This is the slow method of doing it, really. It's much better when you've got random failures on and you can just soft scram it, really. Yep, there we go. I'll just enter 0 on that now. Run on over here, wait for it to go below 10 megawatts. And because we're getting our power from off-grid with that light being green, we can go ahead and desync it when it goes below 10. Yep. Easy as. We can run on over. We need to open up the bypass valve completely and close the turbine valve all the way. So we need to disable the auto bypass. Yep. Bypass all the way. And then close that turbine valve all the way as well. Nice. Synchronoscope's not needed anymore. You can turn that off whenever you're ready. Go. So make sure, no, because we're still sending the steam to the condenser on that side, we're still having it to go around and it still gives it some temperature with its bypass. Sometimes it can be weird. Everything's all stable, everything like that. We can now go ahead and press mode 0, which will create the shutdown procedure, pretty much. You can disable that, you can enable that. Oh, yep, that. Good. Enter 0 on all that. A1, A2 on speed 1. We'll just wait for the temperature to cool down a little bit more. Bring that. So now I'm just waiting for the reactor's temperature to come down a little bit before turning the feed water and condensate pumps off completely. So now should be a good time to turn the feed water and condensate pumps off completely. A1, A2, shut down that offline core cooling. Offline core cooling 1 and 2. Might get an alarm because I can never remember which one's which. Yep. Always. Yeah, so for those in the future and you're shutting down, you need to turn the offline core cooling pumps on before enabling the heat exchangers to be turned on. So that's a little FYI tip, I guess. What else we got? Yeah, just full shutdown really. Turning gears, all that sorts of stuff, and then just disable absolutely everything. That's on. That can be closed. So I've disabled breaker 64B-M. That should be just about all good. I can disable 18MG1 and take the key back. I disabled the hot well levels. I can close the nitrogen valve. What we can do as well is we can open up all 8 of these valves over here and release any pressure that's in the steam lines towards the turbines, as well as any reactor pressure as well. That is a requirement to shut down and get that safe thing. So they can stay open for a little bit. How's our water level in the reactor? Yep, it's fine as it is. I always like to... Yeah, oh, okay, the auto scram is already enabled again. Thank you very much. That's off, that's off. The limiter valve can turn off. Synchronoscope, AB bleed, that can turn off, that can turn off. You're pretty much doing the exact opposite of what you would do when you start up, really. That should be everything's there. So what we're waiting for is for the... Oh, you got the turbine gear B already engaged. Nice. Just waiting for A, really. 18, yep. Isolation valves. Oh, need to close off the isolation valves because we're not using it anymore. Yep, that was me disabling condenser A. So I'll go over here and I'll close all these relief valves now. Okay. Just waiting for that turning gear, and that should be everything. Okay, hang on. Wait. That. So I need to, so you see over here, they're off. I need to go ahead and reset the breakers. Right, don't worry about the mode conflict, ignore that. So we're just resetting the breakers. It's because I turned them on in the wrong way. I need to turn the pumps on before the heat exchanger, not the other way around like I did. Because I'm a dummy. So we're just waiting for these lights to turn back on. There we go. So now I can turn them on. And then I can run over and then turn the heat exchanger on and everything will be hunky-dory. There we go. No problems. Yay! There we go. Cool. I'll just do one last run around, but that should be absolutely everything that needs to be done. A1, A2, mode 0, relief valves closed, that's off, they're on, that's on, they're closed, that's open, disabled, excellent, nice. That should be everything. We should be requesting inspection, that should be done. There we go. Once that comes up with the achievement, then you request the inspection, which will end the session.
Remember, security is the first step.
2 achievements at once.
Stay secure.
Gotta love it.
Stay vigilant.
Has been a hot minute.
Junior operator.
Oh yeah, you would have hit it at 75k. Congrats on the promotion. There it is. Beautiful. So yeah, if you had random failures, now would be the time you'd actually get it. And because we went back and actually put power back into the grid after that turbine trip, it guaranteed that OSHA safe shutdown achievement as well. GG's. Cheers for the game. I'm actually keen to go again whenever you're ready.
That was pretty fun.
Obviously not today, but I think next time will be more clear. I think I repeated myself way too much. And I just had mad brain melt at the start too.